Marty, the next step is the crucial one, and in whose court is the ball, I should say? Is it Republicans? Because we saw on the Senate floor, for example, Mitch McConnell just got up and said, well, Democrats are getting what they've been wanting for a while. But on the Democratic side, we saw calls for action. Chuck Schumer wanting a closed, special, all-Senate hearing, as well as a special counsel. Right.
Actually, the most important thing I think this Trump administration needs to do is find the successor to Jim Comey and find him very quickly. There's some talk last night that Donald Trump would not interview any of the candidates until after he comes back from his European trip. I think everybody, and you heard Lindsey Graham before, just talk about they need to appoint someone who is clearly has the confidence of the Senate on both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans. And frankly, Donald Trump has shown the capacity to do that on some critical appointments he's made in his administration. That still does not eliminate the questions on timing.
Right, exactly. We'll get to that in a second. But for now, acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe has taken over and is going to be interviewed for the job. Say it's him or anybody else, what kind of a brief do they get landed with? Will they continue on with the staff they have? Will they clean house?
Well, I think that is actually a pretty critical question. This unprecedented firing, it had only happened once before, and that was for cause in terms of inappropriate expenditures by FBI Director Sessions, by Bill Clinton. This has the tinge of politics behind it because of the obvious questions about Russia. The one great thing about being FBI director was the assurance that you were protected from political influence. The question is now, has Donald Trump, for this administration and those to come, taken away that independence?
Marty, let's talk about timing. Is there any way the White House, Rand Paul actually, to be fair, defended the timing earlier to Kevin Cirilli. Is there any way the White House can defend the timing of this firing?
Well, of course. They are defending it as we speak. They said that they received the report from acting, Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein yesterday, and the recommendation was that he be removed, and Donald Trump took that decision. So that's how they're defending it. The question really is, since he cited the handling of the Clinton emails as the reason behind it, that has not changed since the inauguration day. And so the questions the Democrats have is, why now? The Trump people are basically saying we're following a process, due process, and when he got the recommendation, he acted on it.
Yeah, Marty, just on your point a moment ago about this being a precedent, or almost a precedent, that it's only happened once before, I want to bring in a quote from our Bloomberg View columnist and Harvard Law professor Noah Feldman, who really wrote a fantastic op-ed about this today, saying that, quote, the erosion of the independence of law enforcement is thus a blow to the unwritten constitutional norm of political neutrality. It doesn't violate the separation of powers, but it violates a norm that is, in its own way, almost as important. Is the point of this that there's no redress here, that this gets done and, you know, we have to live with the consequences, but it is a huge event in U.S. history?
I don't think you can overstate the significance of what Donald Trump did yesterday in terms of what it means for the independence of the FBI. If you think that you cannot proceed with investigations that go all the way to the White House, or you risk losing your job, then it becomes a much more political position, and frankly, a position that some highly qualified individuals will not be interested in doing. So when we get to who Donald Trump picks for this job, it'll be very fascinating to see who that is and who is willing to take it under these circumstances.
Marty, what's your projection? You've covered a few of these events in Washington now over the years. Do conspiracy theories just proliferate now? There was already plenty of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is great fodder. I mean, it's a pants on fire morning here in D.C., not just for Congress, but for the media. Everybody is speculating on the timing. And the thing that gets me is that, you know, what have we learned about Donald Trump in the first 107 days is that he's completely unpredictable, marches to his own drummer, sometimes use conventional methods, sometimes not. So expect the unexpected, and that's what happened yesterday, and everybody's going to have to deal with it because it's going to continue.